At first glance, they seem images of a simpler time, these lazy summer days at State 4-H camp, until you see the signs and remember how it really was, blacks and whites, separate, but hardly equal. When Charleston's Woolworth store caught fire 50 years ago, black firefighters could fight this blaze, but they couldn't eat at Woolworth's lunch counter. Of the 7 firefighters killed here, 2 were black, and they couldn't be buried in the city cemetery. Lunch counters and theaters would stay segregated until 1958. Even then, discrimination didn't end. In 1959, the NBA Minneapolis Lakers came to Charleston to play the Cincinnati Royals. Lakers star Elgin Baylor refused to play in protest because he and 2 other black players weren't allowed to stay at the team's hotel. Charleston native Rod Hundley was on that team.
They said, well, try and get him to play. So I went to the locker room and talked to him. And he said, Rod, I'm a human being. I'm not an animal. And he said, I want to be treated like a human being. I said, I'm with you all the way. Don't play. And he didn't play, and I said, I don't blame him. But it was kind of embarrassing.
In the early 60s, WSAZ cameras watch as this young man tried to get into the whites-only pool and is turned away.
We will win.
Last year, Jesse Jackson toured the region with the UMW at his side. Our mines do have a long history of blacks and whites working shoulder to shoulder.
I've been to mines 27 years.
The United Mine Workers was a pioneer in integration. For miners fighting coal barons, oppression knew no color. Still, nearly 40 years later, have we really come so far? 1997, the Ohio River waterfront in Huntington, many protest the KKK rally. Anger here, but a few blocks away, a unity rally brings people of all colors together. And in a gleaming new hall of justice just blocks from where the old Woolworth stood, a federal jury this year handed down a verdict. A family winning a suit against neighbors who discriminated against them. And Charleston became the city where the first decision was handed down under the Civil Rights Housing Act of 1997. A landmark we had hoped we were beyond.